Hi, 1 Hour Smart Home here, and today we're going to show you how to install an Amazon Smart Thermostat. It's a Wi-Fi smart thermostat that allows you to control it from your phone. Now, one important thing to note before you get started installing this Amazon Smart Thermostat is that it does require a common wire or a common wire adapter in order to get this installed. We've got a whole bunch of resources down below in the description that show you how to install a common wire, and that's going to work for this thermostat as well. Now, one quick way to check and see if you've got a common wire is you take off the cover plate here and you're going to look and see if you've got a seat wire terminal right here. So we do have that, and we're going to be able to install this without the need for an adapter. But if you need this adapter, we're going to make another video that shows you how to do this. So check that description down below as well. Now, before you get started installing this, what you want to do is you really want to make sure that you've got it up and your HVAC system is running. So I usually turn this up or down, and then you've got your HVAC system running, and then you need to shut the power off. So to shut the power off, the reason I turn this on is so that I can go down to my circuit breaker and hear when the HVAC system turns off. So usually you can do that at your circuit breaker, or sometimes you're going to have a switch near your HVAC system to turn the power off. So go downstairs or upstairs or wherever your HVAC system is located and make sure that it's running, and then turn the power off so you hear that system stop. So we're going to go do that right now. All right, we shut the power off to our existing HVAC system, so we can take this front cover off. And if you're having trouble getting the cover off, a lot of times you want to check at the top or the bottom of the cover, and even the sides as well. And usually you're going to find some kind of indentation you can push down on or up on, and that's going to allow you to remove that cover. Now, once you've got this cover off, you want to slow down here for a second, and you want to make sure that you take a picture. So we've got all of our existing wires here, and you want to take a picture of what you've got going on, and then you can also make sure that you label these with the provided labels. So what we have here is we've got our G wire, that is our fan wire. G stands for fan wire. We've got a yellow wire. That is for air conditioning. Y is for your air conditioning, and we've got that Y wire right there. We've got this red wire right here, and that is our power. R wire is the power wire, and then we've got this W wire right here. That is our heat wire, and the last one is our common wire. Now, what's important to note is that these colors should match what the terminals are. So Y for yellow, G for green, R for red, white for W, and C common, that's just going to blue. Now, that's not always typical. What's more important than color is that you record whatever wire is in whatever terminal. And that's because sometimes when people are installing HVAC systems, they don't follow the convention for the color of wires, or maybe the bundle of wires they got has different colors in it. So you want to make sure that, more importantly than matching up the colors, you take a picture of what is there existing so that you've got it for when you go install the new Amazon Smart Thermostat. So now that we've taken a picture and you've labeled these wires with the provided labels, and we've got the power off, we're ready to remove the terminals and the wires from each one of these terminals. So we're just going to use a screwdriver and take those out. We removed our G wire from the G terminal, and we would label it now. Next wire we're going to remove is this Y wire. That's the yellow wire, and that's our air conditioning wire, and we would label that now. Here we've got a jumper between RC and RH, which is very common. We're going to remove that R wire, that's the power wire, or this red wire here, and we're going to take that out, and you can just leave the jumper in there and not a big deal. The next wire we're going to remove is our W wire, and that's our call for heat or heat wire. So we're going to remove that as well, that white wire, and we would label that now. And the last one we've got here, that's our C wire, this blue wire over here, and we're going to remove that now too. Now that we've got all of our wires removed, we can remove the existing thermostat back plate from our wall. So all we're going to do is take the screws out. Sometimes they're going to be in here, sometimes they'll be in another part. So we're just going to use the screwdriver and remove the existing wall cover plate from the wall. Now we've got the existing thermostat removed, and we're ready to install the new wall cover plate as well as the terminal block for the Amazon Smart Thermostat. Now it's important to note, we are showing you the instructions for how to install an Amazon Smart Thermostat for a standard HVAC system that has air conditioning and heat. So typically if you got a gas-fired furnace and an air conditioner, this is going to work perfectly. Or if you just have heat only or air conditioning only, this is going to be very similar. You're just going to have fewer wires, so you may not have some of the wires, which is not a big deal. Now, if you're installing a heat pump system or a dual fuel system, you're going to have a little bit different installation method, so you're going to want to check our description below for other videos. When you're installing a dual fuel system, you're going to use these R and RC terminals, but for our system, we're only going to use an R terminal. And for the heat pump, you're going to have a wide variety of different wiring, so you want to make sure that you follow a different set of instructions if you are doing that. So in order to get this installed, all we're going to do is slip the cover plate right over, and then we're going to put our terminal block on. And they've got 3 screws here, but since we're just going to be installing this temporarily, I'm just going to put the top screw in the existing hole, and we're going to call that good. Now that we've got the Amazon Smart Thermostat back plate and terminal block installed, we're just going to take our wires and put them into the appropriate holes here. So our G wire, our green wire, is going to go in the G terminal. So we just press down on the terminal and insert it. So you press down on the little side of the terminal block and insert your wire, and that's our fan wire. And you want to make sure you use those labels that you put on these earlier to make sure you know where you're putting them in the right hole. So now we're going to take our white wire and we're going to put it in the white terminal. Just press down and slide that in there. We've got our R wire, that's our power wire. So we're going to take that and we're going to put it in the R terminal, the top R terminal. Since we have just a standard HVAC system with an air conditioner and a furnace, so we push down and we put our power wire in, that's the red wire right there, and we're good to go with that. Now we've got 2 wires left. We've got our Y wire, that is for our air conditioner. We're going to put that in the Y terminal up here at the top. And you may have to play some wire origami folding these wires around. So I push down, I insert that Y wire, and we're good to go with that. And then the last one we've got here, we've got our blue wire. That is our common wire, which is required for this installation unless you are using the provided adapter or the adapter that you can pick up in addition to this. So we'll include a link to that below as well. Now we're just going to take our last wire, our C wire, the common wire, and we're going to install it into that C terminal, push down and push that wire into place. There we go. And now we've got all of our wires in position. Here's just a little bit closer shot of our wires, and we're just going to kind of fold them in place as much as we can so that we can get this cover on. There we go. We were able to get it on. It actually is bent out a little bit, so maybe I need to fold some of these wires a little bit better. You might have to play around with this for a second, and sometimes you got to kind of reroute and push wires in to get it in there. So now we've got that a little bit better, and I'm going to push that in place, and we should be good to go with that right there. And what we need to do next is we're going to put our Amazon thermostat on there, and then we can go turn the power on and get the setup started in the app. So on the back of the Amazon Smart Thermostat, you've got these pins, and they're just going to align with the pins here. Now you want to make sure you've got the Amazon arrow pointing up, so this goes up, and you'll also see the notch here. That's going to go up there at the top. So make sure you've got this right side up and gently slide this in place. And right now, we're going to hold off on turning the power on. We're going to go to our app and start getting this set up on the app. And then once we're to a point where we can turn the power on, we're going to go do that. So let's switch over to the app. If you haven't done so already, download the Amazon Alexa app on your phone, and you can just log in with your typical Amazon account, and then you're going to be able to start getting this set up. So let's do that right now. Okay, so here we are in the Amazon Alexa app. We logged in with our username and password, and we're just at the home screen here. Now, in order to get the Amazon Smart Thermostat set up, we're going to click on Devices right here, and then we want to add a device. So in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see this plus symbol. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to click on Add a Device. And we've got a whole bunch of different options here, but we're adding a smart thermostat. So let's go down here until we find thermostat, and then we're going to click on that. So click right there, and then it says, what brand is your thermostat? We are installing an Amazon Smart Thermostat. It says, has your new thermostat been installed on on the wall already? Yes, it has. So we can click right through that. And it says, is your thermostat's display on? So ours is not right now, but since we've been prompted, we can go down and turn the power on to our HVAC system, and then that set display is going to show up on the temperature. So pause right now, go down to your HVAC system, turn that circuit breaker back on or that switch back on for your HVAC system, and then we're going to press yes here once that display pops up so that we can add it to our account. So I'm going to do that right now. We just restored power to the thermostat, and you can see that it just lit up, which means we're ready to go to our phone because this is now powered up. Our thermostat is currently on and the display is currently showing set, so we're going to click yes. It says, let's connect your new thermostat to Alexa. Click next. Make sure you've got Bluetooth, camera, and location on. So we have all of those on. We're going to click next. It says locate the QR code for your Amazon thermostat. So it's on the back of this little booklet here. And if you just turn it around, there's a QR code there that you can scan. So we're going to click scan barcode. We scan the QR code from the provided QR code on the back of this. And this is the next screen that pops up. Now it says connecting to your Amazon thermostat. It's connecting our Amazon thermostat to our Wi-Fi network. Here we need to enter our Wi-Fi password. Click continue. Now it's connecting to our Amazon smart thermostat. Our Amazon thermostat is connected. Let's click next. Now we need to say where our thermostat is located. So I'm just going to click downstairs and click skip. Now we need to click on the terminals that we have connected. So we have a Y wire, we have a W wire, a G wire, a C wire, and R wire. That's all 5 of our wires. We click next. That is correct. So click next. Do we have a forced air system? Yes. What kind of furnace do you have? Natural gas. Next. It says test your new thermostat. Make sure any other thermostats in your home are off so the Amazon smart thermostat is the only one working. So let's go back to our device and see what happens. Now we're at the thermostat and you can see it went from that set image to it now displays the current temperature of 69 degrees. So we're going to click next on the app. It says, did your heat turn on? So right now you can see this little heat logo and it's going to 74. So I just heard the HVAC system turn on. I'm going to click yes, the heat is on. Now it's going through the motions of trying to test the fan. You can see this little fan logo and my fan is on. So I'm going to click yes, the fan is on. It says choose how you want to control your thermostat, Alexa automatic control or a daily schedule. So I'm just going to click, let's do a daily schedule for now and click next and then turn on an energy efficient schedule. We'll click next and it says Alexa needs more info, setting home, away, asleep temperatures, reviewing suggested home, away, and asleep times. We're going to click next. So when we're home, let's say we want our temperature to be at 70, when we're gone, 62, and we're sleeping, 62 is a little cold for me. I'm gonna put that to 65, and then I'm gonna click next. The next screen that pops up is the schedule screen, and currently what it shows is us waking up at 6 a.m., and then going down to the away temperature when we go to work at 8, and then coming back at 6 p.m. to that home temperature of 70 degrees, and then going to sleep at 10 p.m. at 65 degrees. So that's gonna work for me. I'm just gonna click next, but you could change any of those numbers that you wanted here. And then it just says, learn about your Amazon smart thermostat. We'll click next here. And now our thermostat is all ready. So we're going to click done here. And here we are in the app. We can control it from the app. So if I go up to 81 degrees there, then you can see it makes that change right here on the device. It shows this little fire logo. which means that it is currently heating. If I want to turn it down, I can go like this, or I can turn it up and down using these arrows right here. Now, if I want to change from heat to something else, I could go click cool down here, and then I'm going to be able to cool or turn on my air conditioning. So we just got to give it a minute for it to load up, and then I can do the same thing. I can scroll down through the temperature here. We're going to put it at 62. You can see that the little logo there for a snowflake pops up, showing that we are currently cooling. And I can adjust the temperature up or down using these arrows right here. Now I can also go in here, and if I just want to turn it to auto, that means it's going to turn it to heating or cooling automatically based on whatever my temperature preference is. So that's really nice in the cooling and heating seasons of spring and fall, where you may get a hot day or a cold day, where you want it to automatically turn on heat or automatically turn on cooling. So here you can set what is a range here that you want your house to stay between. So at 73, the air conditioning would turn on, and at 67, the heat would turn on. But outside of those ranges, it's not going to turn on. So that's great for the spring or the fall, depending where you live, maybe when you got the windows open, so that you're not using heating or air conditioning during those milder times. And then if you want to click here, you can just turn it completely off if you don't want that to turn on at all. Now let's click back. We're just going to put it on heat because that's the current season that we've got here. And you can also see it's got humidity, and then it says it's going to maintain that temperature till 6 p.m. based on our schedule. If we want to edit our schedule, we can go back in here, and we've got a couple different options. We can use the thermostat schedule that's in there, or if we don't want any schedule at all, we can turn that off. So that's really easy if you just want to use the device to turn it up or down based on whatever you've got here. So you don't have to use a schedule if you don't want. Some people like to be able to just use the numbers, and that's perfectly fine. Now, almost anything you can do on the app, you can do on the thermostat itself. You press this middle button, and that's going to go through the different menu options. Now, the pre-warm and cool, what that means is that it's going to turn on ahead of time to get your temperature to the exact temperature at the time you have scheduled. So let's say you want it exactly 70 degrees. When you get home at 6 p.m., it's going to turn on the HVAC system maybe 10, 20 minutes in advance so that it's going to be pre-cooled or preheated to that precise temperature. Here you can change those preferred temperatures that we had. So the heat mode, cool mode, and auto mode, you can change those right through here. You just click in here, and then you click on any one of these, and you can adjust your home, away, and sleep temperatures to whatever you want. We're going to go back here, and then you can click on the schedule, and we can go through any day we want here, and then click on the time, and then we can click on to change the time. So if we want it to be 3 a.m., that's fine, and we can also change it from home or away to sleep, or we can delete it entirely. So we're just going to close out of that, and then you've got all your different days here. And if you wanted to copy a day, you could just click copy schedule to another day. Real simple for weekdays or weekends for that matter. So if we want to look and see some of our other temperature settings in here, we can go up here and we can see the name of the thermostat. So right now it's named second thermostat. I could change that, but you're going to want to change it to whatever you want to use for a voice command to control this, because this does work with ALEXA, which means that you can use voice commands to turn it up by saying ALEXA, turn the heat to 45 degrees. But it works best when you use the name of the thermostat. So you would say ALEXA, set downstairs thermostat to 75, or Alexa, set living room thermostat to 72.
I don't know how to set living room to that setting.
Well, you just heard ALEXA in the background because I didn't use the proper terminology there. So sorry about that if yours went off. Now, if you click down here, you've got fan control. You can turn it to auto, or you can just circulate air, or you can leave it on. So that's nice for days where you want to just circulate air throughout your house. You've got the schedule, our energy dashboard here. We're not going to have anything in here yet because we just set this up, but it's real neat. You can see how much energy you're using, track it, and then be conscientious of that to maybe adjust your habits and how you're using energy or saving energy, as well as potentially saving money with your energy usage and being more aware of that. You've got your thermostat configuration here. You can go into more detail of your temperature range, temperature units if you want to use Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. You can change the display brightness here. So you can click it from active to inactive, and we can turn that all the way up. It just will help you have better brightness if you're having issues trying to see it. And you can also do the same thing for inactive, turn it all the way up, and then we're going to click there. And then we can go back to those settings, and we've got our Wi-Fi network information there if you ever have to change that, your wire map, your HVAC type. So not anything really we need to change there. That's pretty much what we've got for this thermostat. You can go down here and look at your energy savings incentives. So some places, depending on your utility, you can get incentives for installing this and being part of an energy saving program. So you click here and you can go through this, and depending on your provider, you can potentially get a rebate and or work with them on what's called a demand response program. So we're going to click out of that. That's specific to your area. Here we've got our thermostat configuration, air filters. You can set up notifications here if you want to be reminded every couple months to replace your air filter, and it will notify you. It gives you an Amazon recommended notification point. That's kind of funny, but I guess it makes sense. But you can go through here and add extra supplies, say when you last replaced it, and then it's going to give you a notification every couple months based on when you should be replacing that. So that is pretty much all we've got for how to set up and install your Amazon Smart Thermostat. If you enjoyed this video, please give us that thumbs up, subscribe, and click any links below if you want to support us. Now, if you have different configurations of the Amazon Smart Thermostat, please check in the description below, because we're going to have different configurations and go through the videos of how to set up each type of different configuration, as well as how to add a common wire for this, or how to install that common wire adapter for the Amazon Smart Thermostat, so that if you've got a different configuration, you can figure out how to set it up. Now, we also have videos that show how to add a common wire to a Nest thermostat, and it's a very similar process. You can use that same process for the Amazon Smart Thermostat in order to get it set up with a common wire. So take a look at the video links down below. Those should be helpful. So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.